Sydney Chaifetz, and I work as a health promotion specialist in the Office of Health Promotion. I am one of 4 in our office as well, and I'm excited when I kind of bring up my slides. I'm excited to share with you all how we can serve as a resource to you when you arrive on campus.
Perfect. All right, so Sid, we're gonna have you go first, and then we'll have Nicola, once she fixes she's having some technical difficulties, but she'll pop in and she'll talk about the Center for Care Personalis after Sydney's all done. So Sydney, go ahead, you can share your screen and we'll get started.
Awesome. All right, Justin, you can see my slides? Oh, I'm sorry, somehow. Let me try that again. Okay, now let's try this. Okay, here we are. So again, Sydney Chaifetz, and excited to be here today representing the Office of Health Promotion. And our office is really, our goal is to foster student well-being through proactive, non-judgmental, and inclusive public health principles and practices. So we aim to provide opportunities for students to learn, reflect, and act as it relates to their holistic well-being during their time at Gonzaga. So as I said, I am one of 4 folks in the Office of Health Promotion. You can see on the left-hand side here, Jenna Parisi serves as the director of the Office of Health Promotion. Myself, one of the 3 health promotion specialists, and my focus area is alcohol and other drugs. Then we have Bethany Hickey, who serves as another one of the health promotion specialists. She also serves as one of the COVID-19 contact tracers this year. And she focuses on healthy relationships, sexual health, and violence prevention in our office. And to the far right here, we have Stacia Lee, who is another one of our health promotion specialists and also serves as a contact tracer. And her area of focus is mental and emotional well-being and suicide prevention. So the 4 of us create this office. And like I said, look forward to meeting you all when you arrive. So just a wee bit about public health. I think more and more people, given the nature of a pandemic, are more so aware than ever before what public health does. But our office really uses this public health preventative approach to holistic well-being when students are on our campus. So we often look at the socio-ecological model, recognizing the various spheres of influence that people come to our campus from, whether that's societal, so norms, that are part of our lived experience from a state level, a global level, looking at communities, the communities that we were born and raised into, the neighborhoods, how this impacts who we are and our health and well-being. Institutional, recognizing that Gonzaga plays a role in students' health and well-being and the norms and cultures that exist within our institution. Looking at the interpersonal level, we know how much our relationships and group dynamics impact our well-being. And then last but not least, individually, right? Our knowledge and our skills and our attitudes, who we are as a person, our strengths, our personality really impact our wellness. So really thinking about it of your past experiences, what it is that you already know about health and well-being, the ways in which you already take care of yourself, how that impacts your holistic well-being. So when we're looking from this lens of public health, we're looking at it from the socio-ecological model and all of the various places and spaces and people and society and culture that impact who we are and the ways that we are well. So along with our public health preventative approach, we often use the 8 dimensions of well-being to grasp all of the ways in which it's important for a person to be healthy. So oftentimes when folks think about health, they think about their physical health. And while that's certainly an important concept and important to be physically healthy, we recognize in our office that there are really 8 dimensions that need to be cared for and in balance to live a healthy and well life. So you can see them here on the left-hand side of the screen. So recognizing a student's or a human's emotional health and how that really impacts all of the other forms of health. We know that our financial well-being certainly impacts our health. Social well-being, right? So if you come to campus and you know a lot of people and you've got a good social circle, you're likely going to be and feel more well than if you didn't know a lot of people. We often talk to incoming students about their environmental well-being. So you spend so much time in this new place, potentially in a dorm room with a roommate. The places and the spaces that we spend our time impact our well-being. So really thinking about, it's not one thing that a human needs to care for in order to be healthy, but there are so many things, and all 8 of these things really need to be cared for. But ultimately, it's all about balance. So we hear from students when they first arrive to campus, potentially their social well-being is something that they're investing a lot of time and energy into, trying to make new friends. And potentially when you're putting a lot of your eggs in the basket of social well-being, you're not putting as many eggs into the physical well-being. So maybe you stop going to the gym as much. We talk about that balance, right? So figuring out, being intentional about, okay, I am putting time and effort into sustaining my emotional well-being right now, or my physical well-being, but recognizing that not all of them, it's impossible for all of them to be 100% at all times, but being intentional about recognizing that they're there, thinking proactively about the ways that we can care for all 8 of our dimensions, and recognizing that some points in our lives, we're going to put more time and energy into others. And that's okay too, as long as we're kind of aware that they all exist and they all need to be cared for in a certain capacity. Okay. So just a little bit more on our office. I had kind of shared how the 3 health promotion specialists have 3 different areas that we focus on. So Bethany focuses on relationships, sexual health, and violence prevention. So with this is a lot of education for our students. What does it mean to be in a healthy relationship versus an unhealthy relationship? What is sexual health? How do we care for it? How do we have proactive conversations about sexual health? And then violence prevention. How do we ensure that our campus is a safe place that we all want to be part of? And then my focus area, alcohol and other drugs. So a lot of my role is having conversations with students related to their substance use, and finding a balance, finding harm reduction strategies. So if a student chooses to use alcohol and other drugs, I would never tell a student, hey, bad, don't do that. We use, as our mission statement says, we are non-judgmental here. So working with students that if they choose to have a relationship with alcohol and other drugs, how they can do so in less risky ways, and ensuring that school is still coming first and all of those other things. And also recognizing that many Gonzaga students don't party. Many Gonzaga students don't use alcohol and other drugs. But for those that do, there are many resources in our office and across campus that can help. And last but not least is mental and emotional well-being and suicide prevention. Such a crucial part of our well-being. And I think more and more in recent years, particularly with the pandemic, we're all increasingly aware of how important our mental and emotional well-being is. So Stacia focuses on different ways in which we can help that aspect of our well-being thrive. Thinking about, identity development, meditation, mindfulness, getting good sleep, stress reduction, all the things that we know are helpful in keeping us mentally well. And our Zags Help Zags program. So Zags Help Zags is the name of Gonzaga's bystander intervention program. So the mission of Zags Help Zags, it really encourages the Gonzaga community to promote well-being and to take action to prevent physical, mental, and emotional harm. So really, we all spend so much time at Gonzaga, whether it's faculty, staff, or students, and the goals of the Zags Help Zags program is to ensure that we're all showing up to a place that we want to be at. And a big part of that is being stewards for wellness and Zags that help other Zags. So if we see an instance of harm, whether that be physical, mental, emotional harm, being proactive and being an active bystander in that situation. So I won't go too much into Zags Help Zags, but there are so many opportunities to learn more about it. Particularly as a new student, you'll see this Zags Help Zags plaque all over campus. It's a popular water bottle sticker. And I'm excited, once y'all get to campus, you'll be in a small group that'll kind of explain more about Zags Help Zags. But really, I think you'll find that our students live into that mission of being people that care for other people, and we're all here to help each other out. So with that, one additional resource that I want to talk about, and I'm wearing my Our House shirt, is the name of Gonzaga's Collegiate Recovery Community. So like I said, not all Zags party, not all Zags use alcohol and other drugs, But some Zags do or have used alcohol and other drugs and are at a point of recognizing that they either want to stop using or reduce their use. So our house exists as a community on our campus of students that are connecting through similar experiences and similar efforts.
This won't close. Can you turn that down?
Turn it down.
To stop or reduce their use of substances or other potentially harmful behaviors. So our house welcomes students, as I said, exploring both sobriety or reduced use. And we hold a variety of meetings each week. So please check out our website. You can see that on the bottom right-hand corner here, gonzaga.edu/CRC. You can send us an email at recovery@gonzaga.edu, give us a call. But meetings and drop-in hours are a great way to connect with us. We've got drop-in hours each week, all recovery meetings each week, friends and family meetings each week. And this isn't just students that are exploring cutting back or stopping their use of alcohol and other drugs, but other process addictions as well. So technology addictions, pornography addictions, eating disorders. We aim to be supportive of a student in whatever form of recovery they choose to be in. So maybe you're not at a point or our house will never be a resource that you're looking into, but I encourage you to know about it, to learn more about it, because if at some point during your 4 years or however many years you're at Gonzaga, you recognize that you want to make some sort of a change to your alcohol and other drug use or any other behavior that you're kind of is a part of your life, we're here to help in a non-judgmental way of that. And if you have any friends, that's exactly what we're here for as well. And so many of us are family members of someone with a substance use disorder. And that's why we have the friends and family meeting. So potentially a parent or something like that is recovering from addiction of some capacity. And that's really hard on the entire family, which is why we have support groups for that as well. So I coordinate that program. I absolutely love talking about addiction recovery and recovery in general. So please reach out if you're at all interested in that program. Okay, another valuable resource that the Office of Health Promotion offers is the Wellness Toolbox. So this is a great compilation of a variety of resources at Gonzaga and outside of Gonzaga. These are specific wellness topics. So you can kind of see a drop-down menu. Let's say you're interested in increasing your mental and emotional well-being. We've got an entire drop-down menu there on meditation. And there's a variety of apps and online resources on how you can go and learn how to meditate, other mindfulness-based activities and sorts of things like that. There's an entire drop-down menu on anxiety. If you're interested in learning, what is that? What are some of the symptoms of that? What are some of the things I can do about it? What resources exist on campus or in Spokane that might help out with that sort of thing. So it's a very valuable resource. It's free and accessible at any time. So check that out, www.gonzaga.edu/wellness toolbox to get started. Oh, and I am seeing, yay, awesome. Thank you so much, Justin, for popping that in the chat. I appreciate you. Okay, just a couple of other things that our office provides, or really ways that you'll see us around campus. So on the left-hand corner here, you'll see this one step at a time sticker. And you'll see a lot of positive messages around campus. One of the things that we had engaged in the past 2 academic years is a positive messages project. And so you'll see encouraging words of support and hope around our campus. It's one of the ways that we're all there for each other. It's one of the ways that we all aim to lift each other up and make our community a place that we all want to spend time at. Bottom left-hand corner here, you'll kind of see a symbol. We're doing it one Monday a month. The first Monday of each month, we host Mindfulness Monday. So that is in the Hemmingson Center. I'm excited for you to get to campus and see the Hemmingson Center. And there's a beautiful mindfulness room on the 3rd floor. And every month for 30 minutes, we host during lunchtime from 12 to 12:30, Mindfulness Monday. And it's a great opportunity. If you've never checked out mindfulness before, that's awesome. We'll teach you how to meditate. We'll teach you other ways of being mindful into your daily routine. We know the positive benefits that meditation and mindfulness has on not only our mental and emotional well-being, but really on all 8 dimensions of our well-being. And so for that reason, we offer that as a resource. So friends, I am super excited. I coordinate that program. So I'm very excited to, if you're interested, show you how to meditate, have meaningful conversations about meditation, mindfulness with you. Another valuable resource that we have in the middle of the screen here is mental health first aid. So one of the things that the Office of Health Promotion, along with numerous campus and community partners, offers is this training on mental health first aid, similar to what one might think of with first aid, physical first aid, mental health first aid aims to provide people with an understanding of various mental health conditions, resources, support, what they can do if they have a friend or a family member or a colleague or themselves that's in need and what they might do about that. So it's an 8-hour training. It's provided at Gonzaga. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Nicola, but training certificates last for 3 years. So it's an incredibly valuable training to have. And we encourage all members of our campus community to go through that training. Once you arrive on campus and you start checking your morning mail, I highly encourage y'all to check morning mail each day. It's where you'll get so many of these opportunities. Hey, Mindfulness Monday is tomorrow. Check us out. Hey, mental and emotional well-being, mental health first aid is happening next Friday. Sorry, friends, come to that training. So check morning mail for all these opportunities to connect with us. A couple last things, the health hut. So you will see us tabling in Hemmingson. This is a picture of some of our interns last year at a tabling event inside Hemmingson. So once a month, we hold a tabling event on some sort of a health concept that we're seeing impacting students at that time. So this comes from a health hut that we had last year in February, in which we talked to students about seasonal affective disorder, so seasonal depression. In the Pacific Northwest, I come from the desert. In Arizona, we get a lot more sunshine. So I can tell you firsthand that sometimes it can be challenging to live in a place that doesn't have as much sunshine. And so we talk to students about what seasonal affective disorder is, how they can be proactive about it, how they can boost their wellness if they do identify that they're a little bit experiencing some of those winter blues. We've had a bunch of happy lamps there. We also have various health huts for sexual assault awareness month, and sleep huts to help students get better sleep when they're living in the dorms, and stress help huts around finals week to give folks stuff that can be helpful with reducing stress. So you'll see us in Hemmingson. You'll see notifications on that in morning mail. So please check us out. We provide you lots of free resources at that time. And then last but not least, you'll see my little laptop here, symbolizing what I believe you all have completed by now, which is Zag into Action. So Zag into Action not only is the Office of Health Promotion part of that, but so are so many campus partners. But that's a really valuable resources that aims to provide you with things that are going to be helpful for the time that you get onto campus, not only in your first year, but all of your years at Gonzaga. There's so many resources that exist as part of our community to help you live your best life at GU. And we are all here and eager to help. And so Zag into Action certainly outlines a handful of those, as do these webinars. So with that, my friends, that's all of the presentation that I have for you. But like I said, we absolutely love hearing from you. So please reach out to the Office of Health Promotion at our email address, which is ohp@gonzaga.edu. You can see our phone number there. Check out our website, gonzaga.edu/OHP. Our Instagram, please follow us on Instagram. And then whenever the time comes, I'm super excited to answer any questions that you might have.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Sydney. Really appreciate it. That's a great presentation. Next, we have Nicola Manater, who is going to talk about our Center for Cure Personalis.
Thank you so much, Justin, and thank you, Sid. I have to let you all know, Sid's one of my favorite people to run into on campus. So she's this excited all of the time. So if you see her on campus, definitely stop and chat with her. She knows a lot about our campus community and all sorts of different ways to be well on campus. So some of you may know me from previous webinars. My name is Nicola. I'm actually the director for our new student and family program. So overseeing the orientation program you're about to come enjoy. But today I'm going to step in and talk a little bit about the Center for Cure Personalis. One of our colleagues wasn't able to make it today. So the good news is that I was the director for the Center for Cure Personalis for a really long time before I took my current role. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the office, and then we'll have some time for questions. So let me share my screen here. All right. Okay, so the Center for Cure Personalis, it, first of all, has a really unique name, right? So there's this idea that you'll hear a lot of at Gonzaga, and it's this phrase, Cure Personalis. We use it all the time. It's in our mission statement. You'll hear faculty talk about it. You'll hear staff talk about it. Cure Personalis is a Latin term. And what it really means, it translates about to care for the whole person or care for the individual. So when we're talking about Cure Personalis, we're talking about how all parts of you are important and deserve care, and that you're not just at Gonzaga to improve your intellectual well-being, but you're here to improve all 8 dimensions of your well-being, all of those 8 dimensions that Sydney kind of referred to in her presentation. All parts of you are equally important and deserve care. And so CCP, as we affectionately kind of know, the Center for Cure Personalis, is really here to help you manage that care for all parts of yourself. So talking a little bit more about what Cure Personalis is in terms of the office. Oftentimes our partners in Cure Personalis are the companion for somebody who might be going through a tough time. So walking along someone who might be experiencing a struggle or a challenge. We often refer to it as help of a companion along the way. This came from some of the studies that St. Ignatius, the founder of the Jesuits, did when he was doing his initial studies and forming the Jesuit order. He found that he had all these different things going on, and that he couldn't do them all alone and care for himself. So he talked about needing the help of a companion along the way. And that's what the folks in CCP often strive to do, that idea of accompaniment. It's also this idea of giving and receiving care. So as members of this community, Cure Personalis means that we're giving care to our community. We're also receiving care when we're in need of that. We also talk a lot about self-care in CCP. I know that when I was meeting with students in CCP, I would ask every single student, what's something that you can do every week to care for yourself, or even every day as part of their kind of plan for their own care going forward. So what does CCP do? 3 primary objectives of the office. The first is what we call case management. So case management comes from exactly what you would think from the world of social work, and it's one-on-one meetings with students to help identify what their concerns are, what their struggles are, and help them make a plan for moving forward. So case managers are here to really connect students to resources on campus and be that person walking alongside them and helping them hold themselves accountable to that plan as well. So we call that case management. The folks in CCP also do a lot of training consultation. So Sid talked a little bit about mental health first aid. Sometimes our folks in CCP lead those mental health first aid trainings, or they talk to RAs about how to support students who are struggling, or they talk to faculty about how to manage crisis on campus. They do a lot of consultation with just about everybody. So a lot of times faculty might call CCP and say, I'm worried about my student in this class. Can you help me support them? Family members call CCP a lot and say, I'm worried about my student. How can you help them? Can you help me help them? So that type of consultation. And then the third big piece of CCP is what we call the refer form. So if you go to gonzaga.edu/refer, anybody can fill out a form expressing concern for any member of our community. When that form is filled out, a case manager from CCP reaches out to the student and says, hey, we heard someone's a little bit worried about you. Would you mind coming in to chat with us? And so that person may come in and meet with a case manager for 20 or 30 minutes, kind of discuss what's going on and see what resources might be appropriate for that person. So the refer form is a big way. It's a big way that case managers are able to reach out to students and kind of hear what's going on with students. The 3 major values for CCP are that holistic well-being. We talked about the Cure Personalis, right? All parts of you. Connectedness, so connecting students to resources, connecting students to each other. That we know that one of the most important things as a human being is to feel connected and feel that sense of belonging. And empowerment. It's really important as our case managers work with students that we're empowering you as students to create your own care plans, to take some initiative in those, and also to hold yourself accountable to those. Because if we always say that if you leave Gonzaga not knowing how to care for yourself or not knowing how to connect to resources, then we haven't done our job. So we want to teach you those skills. So why is this important? This is an image that I've used for a really long time in a lot of different roles at Gonzaga, because I think, especially being a first-year student coming into Gonzaga, you have this great plan and it seems like a straight line, right? You're going to come here, you're going to do all these great things, you're going to take all these awesome classes, you're going to meet wonderful people, and then in 4 or 5 years, you're going to graduate and everything's going to be great. That's always the goal, right? But what we know that reality is that there are going to be challenges. There are going to be speed bumps. There's going to be some of these little trenches that you have to get a bridge over, or a little trolley or a boat through, right? And that's where CCP comes in. They can help you manage those roadblocks. They can help you manage those challenges and those rivers that you have to cross, so you don't have to do that alone. And this is part of everyone's journey, right? If you're experiencing challenges during your time at Gonzaga, that's 100% normal and expected. And so that's why we have CCP as an office to help support you in that. So a little bit more about what case management is. Again, it's that support and outreach to students who might be struggling. Case managers act as that central point of contact. So connecting with faculty, connecting with other resources on campus, connecting sometimes with family members or healthcare providers to make sure that we're providing the best kind of care plan for each student. We work with just about every office on campus to make sure that we're able to broker resources for students in an appropriate way. So case managers know about every service on campus. They also work with quite a few offices and providers off campus, so that if there's specialty or an extra level of care that students need, that case managers have the knowledge to connect students in that way. They also do a lot of crisis and emergency response on campus. If some kind of crisis were to happen on campus, you better believe a case manager will be there supporting the students that are involved. And again, that idea of follow-up and accountability and self-advocacy. We want to support students in their moment of crisis or in their moment of challenge, but we also want to teach them the skills to be their own self-advocates moving forward. So just some examples of some of the things that case managers can help with. A big thing is mental health concerns. We know that between 1 in 4 and 1 in 5 college students are entering college with a diagnosable mental illness. And we want to make sure that folks are getting treatment for those mental illnesses and normalizing that process as well. Physical illnesses or injuries, especially with COVID, case managers are often involved in providing support to folks who are experiencing a serious illness, or making sure that they feel like they have what they need to be successful. Loss of family or close friend. If you're experiencing a significant loss in your life, that's a place where a case manager can provide support. They also work with folks on things like body image issues, any kind of interpersonal concerns, as well as supporting any kind of victims of sexual or physical assault. So these are some of our most common campus partners. I want to talk about the top 3 really quickly. So our Center for Student Academic Success is a really also great support office for all students on campus. So that office consists of these first 3 resources across the top: academic advising and assistance, learning strategies, and disability access. So academic advising and assistance is an office that has about 4 or 5 professional advisors. So those are the folks who can help you decide what classes to take, if you need to drop a class, if you're not sure how to add a major or a minor, if you're not sure what kind of schedule you want. Those are the folks who are going to help you put together all of those different pieces of your schedule and how to drop and add classes and all of that good stuff. Learning strategies is a really awesome place especially for our first year students. They manage all of the tutoring programs on campus. They also provide one-on-one support in terms of time management, study skills, all of those kind of things that make you successful inside of the classroom. And then disability access is also a very important campus office. So if you have any kind of diagnosed disability, those are the folks who are going to make sure that you get the accommodations that you need both in and out of the classroom. So it's a really simple process. You can go to their website. It's gonzaga.edu/disability access. And there's a whole process where you submit your documentation from a medical provider, and then they have a one-on-one meeting with you to determine what kind of accommodations you might need both in and out of the classroom. And then some of our other really important campus offices are along the bottom. So health and counseling services, they have multiple health providers. They have nurse practitioners, they have medical doctors, they have registered nurses to kind of attend to all of your initial healthcare needs. So it's always a great place to start if you're having any kind of illness or physical concern, because they can refer you out if needed, but they can actually take care of a lot of what you might need. And then they also oversee our counseling services. So we have 4 full-time mental health counselors. We also have a part-time psychiatrist on campus. And we also have some various types of interns that do mental health care in that office as well. So counseling services are free to students on campus, which is an awesome benefit. We do have a short-term model of counseling, however, which means that a counselor could meet with you for, maybe throughout the semester every couple weeks. But if you need a higher level of care than that, then they're going to help find you a provider off campus after that short-term period is up. But really great people there. And of course, residence life, we work really closely with RAs and professional residence directors to make sure our students are being supported. And our partners in mission and ministry are a really good sense of that spiritual development for folks as well. So Sid talked about some of these online resources. I'll throw out again, the Wellness Toolbox is a great resource for anyone. It's a great place to start if you're like, hey, I could really use some tips for managing my anxiety, or I'm worried about a friend. So many great resources on the Wellness Toolbox. I'll also highlight the Steve Fund, which is a website with resources for folks who identify as people of color. So really great mental health resources there as well. And then these are some of our 24/7 resources that I will tell you, put them in your phone now, or if you don't have your phone with them, you will have a lot of different people telling you to put these in your phone during your first couple days on campus. So campus security and public safety, they're going to be your first call if you need anything at all. We have a really robust on-call system at Gonzaga, and your first entry into that on-call system is going to be campus security. So that 2222 number is a great one to have programmed into your phone. This is our regional crisis line. So particularly related to mental illness. If you're having any kind of mental health emergency, mental health crisis, a friend is having a mental health crisis, this is a great place to start. It's staffed by professionals who provide kind of initial triage, and they have access to counselors 24 hours a day. And then the national text line, kind of the same idea, but just a text version, which is also really popular. As always, CCP will always give you a reminder for self-care, and a reminder that self-care is a verb, it's not a noun. So what are you doing every day that helps fill your cup and helps make you a strong person and ready to take on those challenges? I encourage you to take at least 10 minutes a day to do something that does that for you. And then here's the contact information for the Center for Cure Personalis. Their website is gonzaga.edu/CCP. You can see the refer website there as well. That's a good one to have bookmarked. And then their phone number is there as well. I will say they're located on the second level of the Crosby Center, which you will become very familiar with when you come to campus, just down the hall from Sydney's office. So there's also housing and residence life is also on that floor. So it's a great place to visit. And I think that is all for me.
Thank you, Nicola. Appreciate that as always. So now we have some time for some questions. If you have any questions, feel free to throw those into the chat function or the Q&A, whatever you want to choose. You can ask questions about anything related to Gonzaga. We've all been here for a very long time, so we can answer those questions for you. So if you have anything, feel free to put those in the chat or the Q&A.
I'll also throw out that a lot of this information your families are also receiving through our parent family webinar series, as well as through parent family orientation. So good things to talk to your families about as well.
All right. So it looks like we don't have any questions right now, which is totally fine. But we're really thankful to have Sydney and Nicola join us today for this webinar. And we're really excited to see you all in a couple weeks at Gonzaga for orientation weekend. As always, if you have any questions about your time at Gonzaga, you can always reach out to New Student and Family Programs. And you can find us through email at firstyearexperience@gonzaga.edu. That's probably the quickest way to get a hold of us. So we are more than happy to answer any questions, but I hope you all have a great day and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bye, take care.
Bye all. Woohoo!